first edition of the Unnamed Wrestling Podcast.
No
Are we doing
gimmicks.
gimmick names or what are we doing?
No
No
gimmicks.
gimmicks needed?
Fuck it. No one wants to hear two wrestling fans have gimmicks. I'm Derek. You're Matt. We're here.
Right. Oh,
Gimmicks needed. Although I think that's
All right.
already there's a podcast called that. So
that's Chris Candido, man.
yeah, it is. You know,
No
I
gimmicks
saw.
needed.
I saw recently. Yes, I think it was yesterday. Was like 18 years or something like that, or
Yep. Yesterday.
since his passing, right?
Yep.
That's a shame. Like, you know, that's a guy that he really had so much talent and everything, and you know, with his demons. And personally, I would like. I think. What's that?
Let's start with that then.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to say.
Yesterday was. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think he could have went a lot farther and just been more of a name and everything if he didn't have his drug addiction. And you know what? I gotta say, I blame a lot of it, like everything, on his girlfriend Tammy Sitch, or his wife.
Well, yeah, there's a multitude of stories regarding their relationship and their ups and downs, but it was 17 years yesterday from Chris Candido. Probably I would probably say one of the most underrated wrestlers that was a mainstream wrestler, maybe of all time. He worked every company. He started in Smoky Mountain Wrestling. Him and Tammy started in Smoky Mountain Wrestling, and then probably the most famous thing he did was the Body Donnas.
Yeah.
I can't think of any other gimmick he had, or I know his other gimmick was no gimmicks needed, but I can't think of another time that he's known as much as that. Also, he was a former NWA World Heavyweight Champion. A lot of people don't know that either.
No, back in, I believe it was 94, 95, just before he joined WWE, he was NWA champion. But yeah, the Body Donnas was his most. He had a brief run in WCW in the 2000s, and his other most famous part of wrestling would be Shane Douglas.
And just a correction, it was 15 years ago. Today.
Okay.
Or yesterday, April 28th, 15 years ago. Actually, just to...
I don't have anything to check. I was just going on so that passed by.
Well, yeah. I mean, this is the prepared version. But
yes, I'll be honest. If everyone thinks I'm coming prepared, I'm not. Matt's the prepared guy. I'm just the mouth.
Fair enough.
Just silent there.
just to touch on Candido, you know, one thing he did in ECW, I'd never seen it before, was that power bomb off the top rope. I had never. That was the first time I'd ever seen anything like that, and
obviously, like I said, we were not prepared. But if I remember correctly, they always showed that clip even long after he was gone. Those party VHS commercials or something like that. I remember seeing them. They always played that clip over and over again.
Yeah, and I believe the name of the move was it the Blonde Bombshell? It was named after Tammy.
Yeah, the Blonde Bomber. Yeah.
Yeah, some along those lines. Yeah. Well, anyway, Candido. I mean, what more can be said about him? I think any hardcore fan generally thinks affectionately of him. He was again, he's in that category of who knows what would have been. I mean, he was pretty young at the time of his passing. He's 33 years old.
33, so I've outlived him. That's crazy to think about. You know?
Yeah.
Now, the one thing I want to say, that this is what made him so good. all right, is that he had all the basics down. Like when you look up like professional wrestler, he was a great bumper. He had excellent facials. He had a good physique. He was he was the guy that, you know what, if I was running a company, he's the guy that I would put the people that I want uh, that need to learn how to work with. I mean, I think if he was still alive, I'm pretty sure he would probably have
Like
opened up a wrestling school by now, and it probably would have
like a
turned out a lot of successful wrestlers.
he'd be like a road show pairing, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
a live event pairing. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I could see that. Do you think maybe his size held him back a little bit?
Um, Not as much as Tammy Sitch, but yeah, I would say so.
Well, I mean, just looking at his stats, he was 5'8", 225 pounds. 225 is a good, like like you said, good body, good size. The height. I mean, he's kind of in that weird category where he was almost too big to be in that uh, junior heavyweight area, and he's kind of too small to be in the heavyweight area. If you're talking the big major companies at the time.
Well, if you gave him 5 years, if he was 5 years later, he would have been a perfect fit in the Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit era of the 2004, 2003, that type of era, because that's when they really, a lot of the smaller guys really came, like, got the spotlight on them in WWE or F at the time, whatever it was.
Did you ever meet Candido?
No, did you?
No, no.
Uh,
It's
yeah,
it's a list of there's a there's a list of guys that and girls that I in wrestling I wish I could have met. That he's on the list of ones that I'll never be able to.
we almost met Sonny. You remember that?
This is true.
It was at
Yeah,
Wrestle
I do.
28. We went to the WrestleCon. She was supposed to be there. I
That's
don't
right.
know,
Yeah.
autographs. I think she was doing that gimmick where she, like, you lay in the bed with her or something, take pictures. Or she was supposed to be doing that, or doing some sort of meet and greet. She was supposed to be there, but she didn't end up going. She ended up no showing or something like that. And I think she got arrested not long after that, if I remember correctly. 2012.
Yeah, she didn't. Yeah, she didn't make the event. I don't. I don't remember like an official reason or anything like that. I don't. I do remember the meet and greet offer she was offered. I don't think she was doing it at that one, but I yeah, I remember the gimmick meeting that she did have. But yeah, no, she's actually she's back home now. She's past her legal problems, so hopefully she turns things around too. But you know, it's a sad story.
Yeah.